So I'm just working on getting the bottom drain into this tank. So there's my bottom drain, there's my pipe lined up. Got my glue, the good gear. I've given that a little wipe out already. I'm going to wipe off this, and then I'm going to give both sides a good dollop of the glue. On the inside here and around this, it's really tight to get the pipe in, but I wanted it as snug as possible, but it's making it a little bit awkward to move the pipe. But as soon as I get the glue in, hopefully I can just manipulate the pipe in a little bit, then I can give it a good whack and make sure it's in there deep. Haha, job done. So give that a good dollop of glue on both sides, good wipe down, and I just got my brush here and just run around the inside, make sure that we form a perfect seal, and just all around it as much as I can, just make sure that we get no leaks. This is good gear, this glue though, so as soon as it's dry, then that's another job done. And then when we get the insulation, a little bit of insulation, that'll pack that out to there, put our line in, cut it out, bosh, we'll have it done. So, if I'm totally honest, nothing is going right, and I've just at the point now where I just feel like I've lost my mind a little bit, and I'm just thinking, let's just get on with it. So rather than stressing all the time, I'm just cracking on. I am quite happy with my red beam now as well. Let me go on this side so you can see it properly. Very red, it needs another coat, but it's dry and it's very red. So yeah, it is really coming together. Shop looks sound, but there's just more. Line is in there now. There will be a box weld eventually. That's a PVC liner. Just a matter of getting it done. Let's get it done, and then we can redo certain jobs and get them done right. The tank that we had to build because we got let down, which I'm still not happy about, by the way. I just need to get a window. I'm really hoping Carl CWD has got a window in stock that I can go and pick up tomorrow. Fingers crossed. So I've never done one of this before, where you get this pipe out. So this is a second-hand ball valve connection. But I've seen people do this on YouTube, where you heat up the pipe on the inside and then you just snap it out with a screwdriver. I've never done this, but I've just done it a little bit then, and it worked an absolute charm. Look at that, just coming out. So I'm just going to do it now because it's too hard to do with one hand, and then I'll snap back to you. But look at that, it actually works. Brilliant that. I'm going to knock that off, because if Becky sees this video, and she will, which she will, and she sees me doing that in the shop, she's going to go absolutely nuts. Look at the smoke in here. But anyway, that worked an absolute charm. I'm buzzing. I'm going to let that cool down, and I'm going to get some sandpaper on here, clean all that up, and then bosh, this will then go here, and it'll be my ball valve for there. So all I have to do is put a T-piece in, cut that pipe, put a T in, and then that'll be right up towards that wall, and then that'll be my ball that'll go to waste. So I can purge this properly, and then obviously that T-piece going up will go into the easy pod, so it's going to be a gravity fed easy pod on this system. But I'm really happy with that. I've got a brand new ball valve in the box down there, but I've just had this lying around for a while, and I thought, well, why not use it if I can? And yeah, I can. But look at that, smoulded. So guys, it is all coming together. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to advice, and if you see down here, that pink and grey stuff, that's like a wet room board. Look at the state of me, I've been on the grinder. A wet room board, and it helps the tile stick. Now, the back of the packet said it'll go straight on wood, so it's sided, but they were loose this morning, so I pulled them all down. So we go again, so I'm going to have to do that tomorrow. It is what it is. Over here, this line is in, that's going to change to a box weld, but it's in. And I've got the wood for the backy shower at the back. That's been burnt and yacht varnished as well, so it's had 3 coats. Going to let that dry properly before obviously any water goes in. But 3 coats of yacht varnish, and it's been burnt with a torch, so that should be good. And I think once the coatings go on, hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed, this will all come together and this will be looking good. I need the electrician to put a double socket and a waterproof light switch up there for me, and then I can patch that up and sand and paint. So there's little jobs that are dragging on a little bit, but it is really getting there now. Sometimes I look at it and go, oh my god, I'm never going to get this finished, and other times I look at it and I'm quite positive and I'm thinking, oh well, we're not too far away. Got the liner in the underlaying stuff to go in the big pond. That tank is pretty much done. There's a bit of water in the bottom just helping leach it about a bit more. I'm going to mop that all out tomorrow, give it a good clean, and then we can fill it up once I've done a little bit of grouting on the front of the tank, and that's what done. Get them tiles done, as I said. Up here is like a bomb city. We are having shelves done on this wall. That oak door is going onto that cupboard so we can get rid of that cheap door. Back of the tank again. I had to rip a few tiles off that I had, so I'm glad I didn't have enough tiles to finish that. So we're going to take that down, sort that out. As I mentioned earlier on, hopefully Carl from CWD has got a window for me. Bottom's aimed in and dry, so we are getting there, but there's still a lot more to do. Welcome back to My Boys Koi. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Easter break, or just after the Easter break now. I hope everyone's doing really well. The shop is covered on leaps and bounds. We are so close to finish now, which is really good because we open this weekend. So yeah, what's going on here? So I haven't really shown all of this. I've mentioned in the last video that I'm going to be knocking all this down, and that's the plan, or I've not mentioned it in a short recently. So my plan is I'm going to get rid of all of these ponds here. These were really good and they were fit for purpose over winter, because I was buying in fish all the time, so having small ponds that meant I could buy in and quarantine fish was really good. It doesn't really work anymore in the new structure of the business. So we're working with koi wholesale a lot more. We are still getting koi from Japan direct, but we're working with koi wholesale a lot more as well. So that makes life easier and quarantine a little bit easier for us, because we are selling a lot of fish. And to do it right and to do it properly, you need to quarantine your fish properly, and that's something I truly believe in. Some people quarantine for 7 days. I think it's wrong. I quarantine for 8 weeks. We heat ramp as well, and we mix fish multiple times. Not everyone does that. There's no law to say you have to do that. I believe that's the right way to do it. So these are going, and I'm going to be building myself a couple of big ponds down the bottom. I think that's a little bit for my hobby again. I really want to get back into enjoying the fish and picking fish that I want. I only actually own one fish now, which is a Super Mango Karashigoi from Sakai Fish Farm. None of the other fish here, out of like the 2,000 fish, are my property. But obviously I own them, but you know, they're not my personal fish, and I want to enjoy the hobby as much as you guys do, so I want my own fish again. So down the bottom, which was the original plan, which is down there, I'm going to be building, I think, 3 or 4 big ponds. When I say big, probably somewhere between 1,500 gallon and maybe 3,000 gallon, if I can get them that big. But at least 1,500 to 2,000 gallons per pond, and that's for me personally. They're not really going to be stock ponds, they're just going to be my ponds. The shop as well is going to have the 4 ponds in it, and then we're building that polytunnel. That's not over. We haven't even started on that project yet. That's going to be fantastic, but it's going to take a bit of time, because realistically I'm only one man. I have got help around me. We've got Michael doing the dry goods, Rob doing the editing, and then we've got the people around the polytunnel as well. So we've got a few things going on, but realistically it all comes back on my shoulders, and I've got too much going on. So this is the area where we're going to be building the ponds. Now I built this one here, which is approximately 1,500 gallons. I've got my big one, which is 2,000 gallons. That thing has been a bane of my life since we moved to this house, and I really want it gone, and Becky's finally agreed to let it go. So that is going to come down, and then we've got that space at the back there, right along where I'm going to be building ponds. Now I've got the choice. I can build 2 or 3 1,500 gallon ponds realistically, or I could probably build one, which I'd love to do, but I know that I obsessively buy fish, so having more is definitely better. But I would really love a 3,000-4,000 gallon pond. I think that would be brilliant. But I know what I'm like for buying fish, and I don't like just mixing fish straight away, so I'm really a stickler for the quarantine process. So I don't like the idea of going, oh, I'm just going to have one big pond and I've got no choice but to throw them all in one pond, and then, you know, you end up having issues. That's not really what I want to do. So I don't know what to do for the best, I'm totally honest, and I'm just going to let time decide that. I'm probably going to build 2. I think realistically I have got a little bit of space on the end here, so I might build a small one there, probably 1,000 gallon, just so that I've got like a bit of a quarantine or a grow on maybe, I'm not sure. And I'm going to enclose all of this as well, so it's going to be a plastic roof from there right along, right down to the back, and this whole area is going to be enclosed with a plastic roof. So that should be good as well, because I mean in winter I can feather edge the sides, get a little bit of heat in there, get some light in there, and I can actually enjoy it, because standing outside in the cold in winter, it's just not nice. None of us enjoy it at all, do we? So for anyone who's been watching for a while, you remember I built this like little rockery last year. And the idea was that this was going to take up this whole bank right along here, all the way down was going to be like a slate rockery with some bark, and I was going to have like little water features and waterfalls. Now I love that idea, and I've done this, and I actually had some small fry in here, and they done really well. Well, say really well, they survived. They didn't really grow a lot, but they seemed to enjoy it. They had a lot of natural food, but no filtration. But there's a lot of plants in here. There's a lily there, and there's a few other bits, and they done well in there. So I am going to put a few little ones in there again this year, and I would like to maybe extend it and make it a lot bigger, because I think I like it, and obviously there's bits where the slates fell away and stuff, but I think if that was proper packed out with slate, I think that would look really good. And I think especially if it was the full banquet slate, this slate is everywhere around here, all around this garden. If you dig a hole, all you find is big chunks of slate, so it's not hard to find. It is literally everywhere. So I haven't been anywhere near down here for a good while, and it really does need a bit of work. It needs levelling out, all the weeds need to go. Again, if you remember when I first moved here, someone had used this as a landfill and dumped literally hundreds and hundreds of bin bags of rubbish down the bottom. Now, we cleared loads of it, but the more we like dug away, the more we found, and there's still, like, probably still the best part of 100 bin bags of rubbish. So again, it got towards winter, and I put it off, but I am going to get back on top of that, get that cleared out as well, and then level this ground as well, and try and make as much of this flat, usable ground as possible, because it is a decent sized space. It's bigger than most people's probably gardens, and I just don't use it. That's a hiker's footpath there, so that really needs fencing, just so the hikers, you know, I don't mind them, they're okay, they stop and talk, but when you're trying to get a bit of work done, they always stop and talk. So anyway, this is going to get cleared as well. That's going to go, and then back here I'm going to build possibly 1, possibly 2, 3, 4, I don't know, a nice few ponds back here, and get this space used. I've still got like a vortex that someone gave me last year, and other bits of filters that I haven't used. This vat was getting used, and it's no longer getting used, so there's a few things that I can make use of as I start to build again. Just threw a bit of food in for these, and they're just slowly starting to come up for it now. Some beautiful fish in here, a lot of money's worth of fish in here as well, to be honest, but some absolutely incredible fish. So I am looking forward to sending a lot of these out to their owners. They no longer become my responsibility, if I'm totally honest, but there's also a lot of fish in here that I might keep as well, because as I say, I do really want to have some nice fish for myself, my own pond. And there's some absolutely fantastic quality fish in here. We've got fish from Koda, Sakai, there's a couple of Dainichis in here. There's fish from everywhere in here. Odakan, Momotaro, there's, you name it, Omasako, there's all kinds in here. So maybe I'll keep a few back for myself. I'd probably quite like to do that. So a big part of the hobby for me is building. I really enjoy the building. I enjoy looking after the fish. I enjoy buying fish. I am obsessed with buying fish. I buy far too many. But I do really enjoy building as well. I think that's a big part. The shop build and all the other projects as well. Building this out here, I'll literally build a pond to take it down and go, I don't like that design, I'm going to build it a different way. I don't mind doing that. That's my hobby. It's as much as a passion for me and a part of koi keeping as any other bit of it is. So when I do take this down, I'm going to make this a nice area. I did threaten to do this again a while ago, but I am going to level this all out. I'm going to make it a nice seating area, and then down the bottom is going to be undercover, and there's going to be a few ponds down there. Yeah, so that's what's going on. The fish are all doing great. A lot of fish have been going out the door. A lot more fish are still to go out the door. Customers seem happy, which is, you know, that's all what it's about. The customers are happy, they're coming back to buy more. Fantastic. That's what it's about for me. Again, I'd be so disappointed if the customers wasn't happy with the fish that they're receiving, but luckily for me, they are, which is great. The shop's coming along. The growing show's this Saturday. The shop opens this Sunday. Everything's up in the air. I'm still running around like a headless chicken. I've got paint all over my hands, and you know, it's just a bit nuts. But we're getting there. We're getting on top of things. I've got a smile back on my face, which I really didn't have for a couple of weeks there. It got a bit nuts, but I'm getting back on top of things. And as I said, all the support, all the customers' feedback, the 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, and all that good stuff. is just making me want to carry on and push on harder and harder every week. So if you are liking the content and you are interested in me building a load of ponds down the bottom and everything else, the shop build, the polytunnel build, the koi from Japan, the koi from Koi Wholesale, the shows this year, and everything else what we've got going on, hit that subscribe button. It does help grow the channel. It costs you nothing to do so. It's free to do, and it does mean the world to me. I do appreciate it. We are also approaching our 2,000 subscriber mark, which I wasn't too bothered. 2,000, 1,000 was a big thing to me, but 2,000 not as big. But I'm going to do a massive giveaway. I don't know what yet. I might buy a fish from Japan especially to do so. I might give away dry goods. I'm not really sure, but I will do something really good for that. Let's get to that 2,000 mark. Let's do a massive giveaway. Grown show, there is still a few tickets available. There's 5 tickets available on the website, myboyskoi.com. Loads of stuff on there, dry goods and everything else we send out very, very quickly. It's what we aim to do. We try and send out within 24 hours of the order as much as we possibly can. myboyskoi.com, myboyskoi@gmail.com. Enjoy your week. Speak soon.